The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And I'm ready to go crazy because the Celtics are going all the way.
Hey, Nick, go handle our light work.
Bowl games matter.
I would like a cold cut sandwich.
Atta boy,
You can call him Eamon Owens because he ain't got no D and he ain't got no J.
James Madison.
Turn your body cams off. Do what you do.
Hey, everybody, what is going on? It is Tuesday night. It is Scott's birthday, and this is Craft Root Sports. I'm Mike, birthday boy. How you feeling, man?
I'm still doing better than Skip Bayless. I'd like the 2025 running gag to be that we never, ever talk about that story. But I just constantly say that I'm doing better than Skip.
It's true. And it seems like each week it could be, we just add to it. Yeah, you're still doing better than Skip.
Yeah, nobody's coming after me. But other than that, I'm doing great. Doing great.
And Tyson pointing out, you're a man. You're 40. Welcome to the club, bud.
Thank you.
How you feeling? You wake up with a backache today?
Every day for like the last few years, just more increasingly sore. Never do anything. That's my favorite part. Not remembering doing anything of any note, or just going to bed and feeling, generally fine, and then waking up, you're like, why does that hurt? Like, what? I've been laying sideways. How can from my knee down, how can it hurt?
It's weird too, because you're like, I didn't know I had a muscle there. Why is that hurting? That shouldn't be a thing that hurts. It's fun, and then you get to do like weird things. Like my wife got me cupping massagers. Have you ever seen those things? Like,
oh yeah,
the circle.
Yeah,
I did one of those, and now I've got like the bruises on my back from that, and then that's sore, and I'm like, well, this defeated the purpose because now this hurts. It hurt before, and now it hurts and it's sore, so that's a double way. I hate this. I hate getting old. But welcome to the club.
Thank you. I'm going for my first physical in like 7 years next week, so there's that too. I'm like, I should probably do that. This is that age when I know things start popping up, but also things more deadly start just popping up potentially. And if you don't go get them looked at, or at least like, hey, can you make sure that this isn't going to kill me soon?
Yeah, just randomly when you turn 40, you get like a tumor in your appendix. So it's fun. It's fun times when you turn 40.
Can't wait.
It's good to see you, man. I'm glad you're here. Mookie, not the 40-year-old on the show, the only non-40-year-old on the show now. Mookie, how you feeling, man?
I mean, on one hand, better than Scott, so therefore better than Skip Bayless. But on the other hand, it's like, y'all give me that peek in my future I didn't want. Like that whole, wouldn't you love to see the future? Sometimes there's things you don't need to know about until it happens, right? Like, and well, yeah, you really sucked the wind out of my sails.
You can alter the future a little bit, Mook. You can change things a little bit without altering the space-time continuum. You can change things now that might help you when you're 40 just based on what we're going through.
Yeah, but if that's the case, if that's actually factually true, then how come less than 100% of my bet's it? Because if I can change the future, then let's fucking do it, and let's like nail these money lines all day, every day. I'll retire, and I'll tell you what I will hang up the gambling sticks at some point. Like I would stop. I'd be like, look, I'm richer than Elon Musk. I don't need to do this anymore. I would pass my power on to somewhere else.
That's your stopping point? Only when you get past Elon Musk money? You got a long way to go, dude.
In the world, like what else is there to do after that point? So
I feel like there's a lot of stopping points along the way between like current Mookie and Elon Musk money. Like there's a lot of points along the way.
Yeah.
Stop at.
I mean, yes and no. If you think about just like the good old let it ride strategy, I would get there quicker than you'd expect. When money just doubles up magically because you can see the future and hit every money line bet you place, like I could get to Elon money in, well, hell, before next weekend.
That doesn't seem feasible.
I'll sit down and do the math.
It doesn't seem feasible. We got an awesome show for you guys tonight. We got to talk. Mookie and I are in heaven. We've reached the pinnacle. We're at the college football final Notre Dame's in. They're going up against the villain, the mega villain, the Thanos of college football. So we got to talk Ohio State, Notre Dame. We've got NFL playoffs. Look, they're already talking about shaking up the NFL playoffs. Just like college football, where they're like, we got to do something about this. The NFL now finally looking to change things. So we're going to talk about that. Also, guys, March Madness might be dying. It's breathing its last life. So we'll talk about that. I want to talk about Team Europe and the Ryder Cup playing 4D chess with us. We're going to get stomped in the Ryder Cup because of what they're doing. Also, somebody got fired for the greatest reason I have ever seen, and we'll talk about that too. Before we do all that, though, let's talk about these beers that we are drinking tonight. We're rating them on Cesar scale, as always. Dog or no dog. Scott, what is in your mug for that? Dog or no dog?
I was inspired during our conversation last week about the sours, and I've decided 2025 is going to be the year of the sours for me. I kind of, well, I'm pushing hard. I'm going to reach for as many sours as I can grasp. Like, that's going to be the first thing I look for, and only if I can't find something I haven't had or something that maybe even sound. No, I'm just going to push. As long as I haven't had it, I'm grabbing the sours. This is the year of the sours, damn it. So I'm kicking off things with High Grain Brewing Company's Strawberry Lemonade Sour.
Shout out Matt
4
Hunter.
What's that?
Oh, sorry, I was shouting out their brewer, Matt Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
High Grain. Good.
You're right. Keeping it local. 4.5%. Solid. I mean, just solid. It tastes like strawberry lemonade. This seems like more of something that you would drink like in the summer, but I'm digging it right now because it's nailing the flavors now.
Very nice. High Grain doesn't miss either. High Grain. I have not had a beer from High Grain that I did not like. So
yeah, they have that acai berry sour that I like too. So yeah, this is a dog.
What was that one again?
Acai.
There we go. Okay, just checking. I hope that's the one you have next.
WNBC. Google it, kids.
Google that, kids. Mookie, what are you drinking tonight? Dog or no dog?
I think this is a repeat, but I can't find it on Untapped, which always annoys me. It's I can find the beer, but not like the permutation of it because they've got 50 different. But it's called Silhouette from Hudson Valley Brewery. This one is a sour IPA with blueberry and raspberry. I'm pretty sure it's a dog, but I'm a little annoyed at it, so I'm gonna call it a Chihuahua for now. But it can earn its way up to that Labrador.
I'm pretty sure it's a dog.
Because I think I had it before, but I can't tell because it's not an Untapped. Because I had to check into some weird random shit. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
So it's a dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. There we go. There. I was waiting. I didn't want to take the camera off you.
What? It's a dog, but it's in timeout. It's in its room for a little bit. He's got to think about what he did, running away in the middle of the night in 15-degree weather. Yeah, he needs to sit in timeout for a minute.
Mookie, I never tire of your weird dog comparisons that you make with your beers. They're always fantastic.
And I wish I could fix it, but I can't. I have no idea what to do it better. So it's like, fuck it, we ball.
Just do it. Robert Taylor wanting to know, is Matt on the show? Is that why nobody is here? No, Matt Barr is not on the show tonight. Just the three of us.
He's doing that hockey.
There's a lot of folks in the chat. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyways. Gabe said he's drinking football-inspired beers tonight, starting with Peanut Butter Weekend from Krebs Brewing Company, Bourbon Barrel Imperial Stout, 12.7% ABV. Bro.
Peanut Butter Weekend. I love that name. That sounds like a great band name. Go to see PB Dub this weekend, yo. You in?
It does sound like a good band. What type of music is Peanut Butter Weekend playing? It feels like that's screamo music. That's absolutely screamo.
Yeah. That's it's it's house. It's like they're only doing house shows. Like they're never making it out of the house show circuit, probably. But they got a loyal following.
Very nice. Very nice.
Pretentious ass fans too. Like you're like, oh, you don't know about Peanut Butter Weekend? Yeah, you don't really know music then.
Oh, you started listening to Peanut Butter Weekend after the Jelly album? Sorry, you're way late to the party. All right, I liked them back when they released Crunchy. Okay, that's when I was way on this tip.
Then they went mainstream with the Jelly Volume 1.
Really jumped the shark when they released Creamy, but I still check them out. Gabe said he's finishing off with the fourth quarter sports drink inspired sour ale. Whoa, 5.3% ABV, both dogs, and I'll be in attendance at the game if the price goes down. He's had a hot run this year.
That's what I was going to say, man. He's turned things around. The narrative is Gabe's there. We winning.
Gabe is basically like I was when we were doing picks, Scott. Like the first time around, awful, dog shit, terrible. Second season, back on top. That's where Gabe's at. By the way, Robert Taylor gave you a happy birthday, and Biscuit.
Thank you all.
He's at work, but he wanted to stop in and say happy birthday.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
I got to give you your flowers on your 40th, man. Robert is drinking Chapman Craft Beers Absolutely Raspberry, 5% ABV Berliner Weiss with notes of tart and raspberry. Sounds like another sour fan. Is everybody drinking sours nonstop?
It seems like it is.
2025 is the year of the sours, baby.
Year of the sour. He said, though, not quite a dog, maybe a puppy. It's too watered.
Watered down sour. That's
that doesn't sound like it would work.
That's disappointing. Normally sours punch you right in the face.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, they're usually aggressive.
Yeah.
I don't think they ask for consent most of the time.
You know what? Maybe he asked for the Patrick Mahomes version, so it's a little bland.
That's a good joke, Mook. I like
that. That is. Missionary Mondays.
And Tuesdays. And Wednesdays. And Thursdays. And Fridays. Saturday.
But not on Sundays. We don't do it on Sundays. That's the Lord's Day.
Day of rest, yeah.
Robert said Peanut Butter Weekend is also another name for a weekend hanging out with my dog.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, man. Guys, I am continuing dry January. This time around, I have a THC from Costello. I don't know what the breweries are. I don't know but this one is Cherry Cola. It's another 5 milligram THC with a couple CBDs in there as well.
Just sprinkle a few CBDs.
Just a little dab of CBD on top of the THC. It's okay. I got to be honest. I went into this thinking like cherry Coke, and it's not cherry Coke. It's like a cherry flavored seltzer. So it's okay. Not the best. If I'm stacking it up against the orange creamsicle last week, distant second place. Not quite a dog. It's like a hamster.
Does it? That's not at all like a dog.
I mean, they're similar. They're both pets. You have to feed them.
And they have hair and 4 legs. Okay.
Yeah, like they're animals.
Mammals,
sure. Cool. Keep going. What else you got?
What other subsects can we throw them in? I think we've
that's about it, but that's all you're really
Did you just try to go genus, phylum, species on us, Scott? Like, what the fuck? Sex. Subsex. What is...
No, I'm just saying it's like how much further can you break it down for? Like, it's just like I think we were running out of gas on.
You know what? I think they've got like 4 fingers on their feet and then like a toe way up here, Mike. There's another thing.
Both of them like to lick their balls. I don't know. Like they're both kind of animals that you keep. Whatever. But it's okay. It feels like it might grow on me, especially as the THC kicks in. We'll see. We'll see how this one holds up. Let us know in the comments what you guys are drinking, whether or not it is a dog. Fellas, let's start the show off talking some football. I am officially dubbing this national championship game the Insuffera-Bowl. That's what this is now being called.
The Insuffera-Bowl?
Bowl. Yes, it is.
I love it. I love it. Print the t-shirts. Print the t-shirts. It's got to have 8-bit graphics for it. Like
Yes.
it has to be 8-bit graphics for any of the lettering for that. I liked it. Insufferable. This is peak Insufferable.
It is for fans that are not Ohio State fans or Notre Dame fans. This is like the nuclear option. This is the one nobody wanted. This is the matchup when the brackets were released.
This is
Please, dear God.
Dodgers Yankees.
Yeah.
Here we are again.
Facts.
Which evil empire do you want to win, Scott? Now, here's the thing, and this is what I think people really need to take into account. So Ohio State, we know what that fan base is like. We know what that fan base can do. Notre Dame fans are very they've been hanging their hat on things that haven't come to fruition yet.
I'm gonna make the same mistake I made last time. Because this is reminiscent. This is very reminiscent of going back to, and I don't know, prior to this, I don't have any reference point, but I've told the story a million times that when I was growing up in Toledo, the city was very split, Ohio State, Michigan. And, it really was like a 50-50 split. And so I had friends on both sides and never really thought of thing. But Ohio State fans at that time were not aggressively annoying as fuck like they are in this time frame. But the minute that all changed was when Tressel and company won that title. From that moment on, they became Yankees fans almost instantaneously. It was like the weirdest thing. I rooted for them, against Miami because they were the underdogs, and I was like, local team. I don't ever root for. Like, of course, I'll just root for Ohio State. Like, whatever. I don't. But from that moment on, they become giant assholes to the point where we are today. And I fear that I'm going to make the mistake of waking a sleeping giant, because at that age, the reason why I hate Notre Dame so much is because Notre Dame was them. Notre Dame was that way. Notre Dame fans were that way at that time, just giant assholes about all the championships they had won and all this and that and yada, yada, yada. And that's why I hate them the way that I do now. And because I'm allowing myself to think like, okay, I need Notre Dame to win this because Ohio State fans are such assholes. This could be waking a sleeping giant. I could be unknowingly opening Pandora's box, and this could just flood. God, this is the Insufferable.
Okay, but in fairness, I know I'm biased. I'm clearly a Notre Dame fan. I am clearly like I am admitting my bias in this. But when you look at two teams. When you look at Ohio State and you look at Notre Dame, one is clearly much more likable than the other one. Like when you look at these two teams, there is one that is a much clearly more liked version.
Today. But if they get back on their high horses, the tide will change quickly.
I'm not talking fans. I'm talking the team. You look at
the team.
You look at Marcus Freeman versus Ryan Day. It's a no-brainer. You want Marcus Freeman to be the guy. You don't want Ryan Day and his painted-on beard to be the guy.
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm rooting for Marcus Freeman regardless. I didn't give a shit who was on the other side. Like, there was only going to be a conundrum if there was another guy that looked like Marcus Freeman as far as head coach I was rooting for in this game. So that is a no-brainer.
So Sarah's kind of saying what Mike's saying. No way we beat assholes like they are assholes, which I think is true.
We'd be a different kind of asshole.
But that's the thing is, Mike, we would be, even if the fan base is assholes or are assholes, whatever grammar's right there, it would only last for a very short period, because all that needs to happen is for there to be one loss, and all that Catholic guilt comes roaring in and will knock the fan base back 10 years.
Oh,
so it would be very short lived.
This is 100% like the Chiefs prior to their first Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's what it feels like right now, where like people are like
this could be.
We want to see them do well, but if there's a second one,
right? And I fear that's what's happening. Like, I'm looking at how college football, the landscape is now, and things have gotten more even. And Notre Dame, like I said last week, they are now becoming like, that's now a recognizable brand, and they're going to start getting more interest. And with that money, they're going to be able to start paying more of these guys and competing on a more consistent basis. this might not be an accident. Might not be just they got lucky this year and things just kind of lined up. They may be here to stay. And I don't think I want that.
And Scott, as much as that would delight me, in all honesty, I don't think we'd be able to hold it together like that, because there is still, as much as people get annoyed by saying this, the academic pressure of Notre Dame and stuff. Like, there's dudes who just want to go play ball and not play school at all whatsoever. And at Notre Dame, you at least have to show up occasionally to class.
But with
so,
the
like,
rules,
this is the once every 5-year cycle, I think.
But do you really with the transfer portal? Like, I mean, the way it's set up, I mean, if these guys come in for 1 year and can just bounce, I don't know how much it matters. I mean, you can go in there and basically fail out and then just be like, all right, I'm out. Or guys coming in knowing, I'm only here for 1 year and then I'm out.
That's where we're Notre Dame and we don't do that kind of stuff. We graduate our athletes is going to get in the way of that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But I think that again, that era's over. Like, everybody's now in on fuck it. We're going to do whatever it takes to win, and it doesn't matter. And if you think Notre Dame is like, hey, we're back to success with this way, yeah, we're going to go back to being stodgy and firm on our rules.
Yeah, no, that's my point. That's exactly my point. They will immediately go back to being stodgy and OWG.
I think that they've seen now what they need to do, what needs to be done. They're like, look, we didn't compromise on conference and we won that, but we had to compromise on this. And we're gonna keep compromising because it works. We'll stay out of a conference. That'll be our thing. We will be Notre Dame. We won't press that button. But Scott, also, we're gonna bend the rules on guys that we will bring in here.
I really wish that was true. I wish I believed you, because that'd be awesome. I'd be all for it. But there's no way. There's no way. It doesn't take this revolution you're speaking of will take decades at this school.
I'm calling bullshit if instead of NIL money, the Pope starts guaranteeing spots in heaven for dudes in the transfer portal.
I mean, that's smart. Play the hand you're dealt, right? We don't need a conference. We got free passes, y'all. You can come here, and then you can Ray Lewis your way through life, and you're fine.
Hey, want to hit and run and leave the scene of a crime? Don't go to LSU. Come on up to Notre Dame.
Right, exactly. You're gonna have to answer for that shit over there, but back down here, you good, fam.
Right? And here at Notre Dame, we don't have any fake accents. We don't have any fake accents that you got to pretend with.
That's only because Indiana doesn't really have an accent. You can't really fake an Indiana accent.
I just like taking shots.
I want to know, how pissed is Brian Kelly? Like,
God,
left Notre Dame saying, I need to go somewhere where there's resources in order to have a chance to win a national championship. 3 years later, LSU has not made the playoffs since Brian Kelly got there, and Notre Dame is now competing for a national title under Marcus Freeman. Like, it is amazing the culture shift that has happened at Notre Dame since Brian Kelly left and Marcus Freeman took over. And it's amazing to see LSU fans despise Brian Kelly like this quickly into his tenure. This is a school that everybody wins a national title at. You had Coach O come in here, you're going to talk about them pregnant ladies, and he's going to win national championship. Then you had, before him, you had Les Miles, who came in.
It took him a while,
but they won. Every coach that's been there wins a national title, and Brian Kelly was like, well, why not me? Why can't it be me? And then he got there and he's like, oh shit, this is way harder than I thought it was.
I love how you skip over the Nick Saban title too. Like, that happened in the run of all of those. And it's like, there was also that legendary coach that came through the doors. I'm surprised. I'm impressed. You know what it is, Mike? It shows how serious the SEC takes their football, because it took Notre Dame fans and our fan base like a good 4 or 5 years to learn how to hate that man properly. Them motherfuckers did it in like 2.
That's a good point.
Quick.
That's a good point. And we were still, even as he was out the door, Notre Dame fans were still like, oh, that might have been the ceiling. I don't even know if we're going to be able to find somebody to replace him. Like, when Kelly left, every Notre Dame fan I know was just like, we wanted him to go, but damn, this could be rough. Like, I don't know how this is going to work out for us. And clearly it's worked out well. I don't want to say too much about this game because I don't want to get my hopes up. Notre Dame's a 9.5-point dog. They are absolutely demolished across the board with injuries. I don't know how they match up with OSU with where they're at in this roster. I'm hoping they cover. That's basically like it's all house money at this point. Nobody thought Notre Dame was going to get past Georgia, so it's house money at this point. But Scott, I'm being pulled back to that Bengals Super Bowl run when I was like, I'm just happy to be here, and then they lost, and I felt like shit for 2 weeks, and I feel like that's what's coming up on me right now. It's like, I'm just happy to be in this game, and then Monday night when Ohio State destroys Notre Dame, I'm going to be wanting to crawl in a hole for a while. Talk me off this ledge, Scott. Is there any hope for me here in the Insuffera-Bowl?
I think there's hope, but I do think this is the end of the line, regardless of it being the national championship. So it's the end of the line either way. Of the run itself, like I want to find ways to not pick Ohio State to win this game, but watching them through these playoffs and ever since Michigan game, they just turned it. It's like they realized, oh, we have these certain players, we should probably use them. And I'm like, why didn't they look like this like throughout the rest of the season? Like it almost feels like they would have been. They shouldn't have been stopped the way they've been playing lately. They're just in a zone. Like everything's just clicking for them right now. So it's a timing thing. And I just think like Notre Dame is playing the best possible football they can be playing. I'll say that too. Like they look each week they've looked better and better and better. And I'm like, well, like less reason to doubt them, but I just don't think they have enough firepower to get over this hump.
And that's absolutely right. Like to be fair, I was booing Scott backing himself out of the corner of I think this is the end of the line. Like, no shit, Scott. And then he quickly caught himself before anyone could correct him. So boo. But I think you're absolutely right. Like, Gabe, I see you in the chat saying that Ohio State won on 2 plays. Like, yeah, that may be what it feels like. I remember looking up at halftime, seeing them up only 7-0 and being like, man, that's kind of surprising. Like, good on them keeping it close. But
Texas matched up well with them.
Texas matched up well, and
they still did what they had to do.
It could have been a tie game if Quinn Ewers doesn't get, a salad tossed by his former roommate. But here's the thing, man, it happened. Like that happened, so you can't discount it. Like they made that play in that moment. That's what separates teams when you get to this point,
right? And that's what I'm saying. Like it's only going to take 1 or 2 plays. I don't think that Notre Dame's going to get run off the field. This is not going to be an embarrassment. Like the last couple times they played on the title game against Alabama.
Low possession.
Yes, it's going to be. Hey, it's going to be old-fashioned Big Ten football. Like it's just going to be a whole lot of running the ball. You're going to see 1 or 2 big pass plays where there's a blown coverage, and that's it for the whole game. It's going to be boring.
If we get that, because I do think there's a lot to be taken from the way that Texas played Ohio State. And honestly, Mike, my first thought when I was thinking about it in a quiet moment was, well, we're very similar to that Michigan team that beat them. We run the ball. We have defense that keeps people in front of us, and we tackle well. Maybe there's some, but I don't want to get my hopes up either. So I'm going to go ahead, hammer that over and hammer Ohio State -9.5. Because again, fuck it, we ball, right? Anything outside of that is going to feel good because I do think if it's close, I think something weird could happen and we pull off a miracle. But I'm not expecting that. I did take the day off of work the next day because I'm like, I'm going to need space. We're going to need to recover in some sense, or I'm not even sure if I'll be hungover. Who knows? But it's going to be, here's the thing, Mike, we're going to watch the whole game. It will be worth watching until there's zeros on the clock in the 4th quarter, unlike the last time we were here where none of us remember the second half.
Oh, I remember the second half.
Then you fucked up.
That was browning out in that Alabama game. I vaguely remember the second half of that Notre Dame Alabama national championship game when we drank an entire bottle of whiskey with Tim. Guys, the other thing that we need to talk about here, and Gabe brought it up in the chat because he was asking about, are we going to talk about the 3rd-year conspiracy? Scott, do you know about the lure of Notre Dame coaches in their 3rd year? Have you heard what the magic is in the 3rd year for Notre Dame coaches?
I feel like I've heard it before, but I don't remember what the particulars are. But I do remember hearing something about the 3rd-year rule. Like
Frank Leahy, Ara Parseghian, Dan Devine, Lou Holtz, all won a national.
Sorry, who?
In their third. Sorry, excuse me, Lou Holtz.
Thank you.
All won a national title in their 3rd year. Brian Kelly got Notre Dame to a national title in his third year. So
We're just gonna skip all the guys in between there that like didn't even come close. Okay.
no, that's the thing. This is like year 3 is a make or break for coaches. If coaches don't get to the title in their third year, terrible tenure at Notre Dame. Like Ty Willingham, Bob Davie, Charlie Weiss didn't sniff a title in year 3, had awful tenures.
I got you.
Year
Okay.
3 is like the breaking point for a coach. It's either national title, get to a national title, or you are busted out. So Marcus Freeman has already guaranteed himself like some leeway to have a good career at Notre Dame by making it to the title. He at least has matched Brian Kelly, but he can put himself up in that upper echelon with Lou Holtz at the Lou Holtz echelon with 3 national title in year 3. I want him to get it. I want him to get it.
Well, of course you do. I think though. I think you're funny enough. I think he's playing for his job in the sense that I think he's more inclined to stay at Notre Dame if he wins. Like if he wins, I think he's gonna go on some
interesting.
I'm gonna be a legendary. I'm gonna be a fucking legend here. Like, well, let's roll this. Like it is now possible. I'm the man, and I'm gonna do this. If they lose, those NFL teams that are sniffing around, I'm worried for you. I gotta be honest. I do think that NFL money might be a little bit, so y'all got to win this because I want to see Marcus Freeman stay there. Hey, y'all having not y'all two specifically, but that fan base having a root for a black man forever. Hey, worshiping him, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Scott's out here trying to stick it to some white Catholics.
Hey, look,
that's right.
Hey,
Not racist, but it's something.
If I'm gonna pull a positive out of this whole thing, if I gotta hear them talk mad amounts of shit and be all cocky, I'm like, yeah, but who got you back to that?
Scott, you're basically rooting for all the old racist Notre Dame fans to be like, see, he's one of the good ones, this Freeman. Not like that Ty Willingham. We didn't like his kind, but Marcus Freeman, he's one of the good ones.
That's fine. But no matter what, I'll remind them. But to get back to relevancy again, who had to get you there? Who'd you have to willingly root for all that time? Yeah, that's right. Marcus. Ain't no white Marcuses, bro. Marcus Freeman.
and I was thinking it. Gabe said it.
Race card.
I do want Marcus now to win the title, and then on the stage as he's holding up the trophy, he's like, by the way, call me by my real last name, Freeman.
And then one fist in the air. Oh, dude. Hey, you boy. Hey, don't lie. Hey, save me a seat on the bandwagon. Then we're going in. That happens.
Oh, this is a weird, bizarre feeling. Tank said, "I don't think it's very fair that you have God on your side." Sorry, Tank. Them's the rules. That's the hand you were dealt, buddy. In all seriousness, though, I just want Notre Dame to cover. That's where I'm at for this one. Let's talk about it.
Here's the thing, man.
One last thing, though. Gabe's saying statue built if he wins it. Yes, absolutely. But we got to get somebody better than the Dwayne Wade guy. We got to get somebody better than the Dwayne Wade. We can't do Marcus Freeman like that. I'm just
hold
saying.
on. Hear me out here, right? Notre Dame as a campus has a tradition with, large painted murals like Touchdown Jesus. Do we go a different route?
Just paint over it with Marcus Freeman in the Touchdown Jesus pose? Yes, I'm in. Good idea, Mookie.
All right, Scott's in. He's spoken. There it is. I was gonna say just like
or just paint Marcus Freeman's face over what's already there. Even better. Make them really go lose their minds.
Well, people always be like, Jesus was a black man, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
The ancestry.com stuff.
In fact, there might be some rumblings. We might have to put it out in the streets there today. It's like, hey, the Messiah has returned. Okay. Brought titles back to Notre Dame. The Messiah has returned.
That ain't right, man. Right.
I am in. I am so in for this now.
I was
Let's
just
go Irish.
It's probably harder to fuck up a painting than it is a statue. But Scott, you know what, man? Like, you know what? No half measures, go all the way. I got you.
Here it is, the Marcus Freeman statue.
Oh, no.
no.
See, you can't do it like that. God, what's horrible is that statue actually looks more like Marcus Freeman than it does Dwayne Wade. Like, damn.
I gotta get a split screen now. Hold on, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I will try to find a split screen.
All right, well, while you Google that, Sarah did.
This statue.
Sarah did point out Freeman at Notre Dame, Jews at BYU. What a weird year. Yeah, it's 2024 college football for you, folks.
Oh, what a year!
I just. Oh God!
You found the photo.
Man.
You found the photo that proves my theory, right?
Oh,
Now hold on a minute. Is that maybe was this artist playing the long con? Like, let me get a practice run in with D Wade, so when they come calling for Marcus Freeman statue, oh boy.
Or what if it was just like, hey, I'm gonna prove the theory. They all look alike. It's like I'm gonna play a little game. Marcus Freeman or Dwayne Wade? Let's see how long it takes people to notice. Yes.
Oh my God!
Don't ruin it yet.
We're trying not to, man, but like,
don't ruin it yet.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
I don't know. I might get race carded if I do this.
Hey, this is just facts, man. This is just facts. Well, Scott said it, so we're covered. What are you saying? This looks like a custom character I'd make in a game as a joke. Oh,
guys,
boy.
it's dead on. It's dead on. I'm sorry,
dude. I'm serious.
Marcus Freeman.
I'm serious. Like when you put that up there, it's like without even needing to see that photo, I'm like, it looks more like Marcus Freeman than it does Dwayne Wade. That's wild.
Holy shit, guys. So here's what we need to do. If Notre Dame wins the national title, we just take the Dwayne Wade statue and just change the jersey to like a Notre Dame
there you go.
Under Armour shirt, and then they
recommission the Dwayne Wade statue. They just shift that one up to Indiana and change the body underneath, and they redo the Dwayne Wade thing. Yeah, I think that's
where's the office meme of it's the same picture, and Gabe hit us with a whoa, guys. It is scary how much that looks alike. That is a terrifying image. Marcus Freeman looks just like the horrible Dwayne Wade statue. And it's really bizarre because Marcus Freeman's an attractive dude. Like, he's a good looking guy.
Oh, yeah, I'd fuck.
But
wait, what?
What do we look at? Pause.
What?
What?
What were you saying? What were you saying?
Attractive dude? I don't know.
It got weird.
I don't know what I was saying there, Scott. That got very weird.
We could rescue the moment by pointing out to Rex that Notre Dame has now won more college playoff football games than Michigan. So suck that.
Marcus Freeman now has more wins against top 10 teams than James Franklin has in 14 years.
That tracks.
No, Mike, you left out a detail. In one season, he has more wins in one season.
Yeah. It actually, I believe it's just since this postseason that he's got more wins against top 10 teams. James Franklin, man, he came out before that game, was talking about how it's not fair that Notre Dame's not in a conference and blah, blah, blah. Scott, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like Notre Dame should be forced to join a conference? Or do you think that maybe we go the opposite way here and we get more teams that don't go conference, like more independent teams, when they realize like, hey, wait, we can make $20 million doing, like, we can go 20 million just for ourselves. Yeah, we're good. We don't need the ACC anymore. We don't need to be in the Big 12. We'll just go independent and be our own guys.
I mean, it's probably nobody in the Big 10 because tradition, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, that sounds like an Alabama move if I've ever heard one. I mean, who were thinking? Alabama would totally be like, yeah, screw this SEC. We just saw what they can get and keep. Oh, that's gonna be us. But no, I mean,
Big Ten though, Scott, you got USC and Oregon in the Big Ten now. I could totally see those two teams. You don't think Oregon would be like, you know what? We are going to go independent, and also we're launching the Nike Sports Channel that hosts all Oregon athletics, and it's a streaming site that all the money goes to.
Yeah,
Oregon.
I guess when I said Big Ten, my first thought was I can't see Ohio State doing this, and only because tradition and blah blah blockety blah with Michigan, like they're too cowardice to do that. So like they want to keep all that crap alive. But Oregon, yeah, they got no fucking loyalty to the Big Ten. I could totally see them doing it, and in fact, I would advise them probably. Like Phil Knight's probably working on it right now. Like, did you see how much money they get? We'll get that money. Let's get that Notre Dame money.
I mean, Tiger just made a golf league out of thin air, and he's created greens that move on command. Why can't they create their own independent thing?
I really do think like more teams are going to see what Notre Dame has done this year and be like,
yeah,
they cracked the code.
It's true.
They crack the code. They make their own schedule. They're not beholden to play in a conference championship game. They get all of the postseason money to themselves. And if you're a big enough brand, there are enough streaming services out there that will pay you to broadcast your shit. So like,
it would only be the
pockets, man.
Yeah, it would only be the upper echelon. Like I said, you got to be in Alabama or Ohio State and Oregon. Like you have to be the creme de la creme. But there's definitely people that would pay.
But that's the thing. I don't think you have to be the creme de la creme because Notre Dame hasn't been the creme de la creme this whole time.
Yeah, but they're creme de la creme as far as brand goes. They're in the upper echelon, even without being winning. They're still a name brand. Like name another team that's not in the upper echelon that could carry that cachet where they're like, oh well, we've got this. We've got the brand regardless of what we put on the field. Like, and that's where Notre Dame's unique. I
would say the U would be the first team that I can think of that could pull this off without, they haven't done anything great lately. Besides Hannah Cavender convincing Carson Beck to come to Miami. That's basically the only thing they've done worth the shit. In the last
Good for her. She did something for once. Like, nice. I thought once they transferred to Miami, they'd actually win some basketball games, but whatever.
Nope, she convinced Carson Beck to come to Miami. But like,
did she though, or did the NFL look at him and go?
But again, that's another brand. That's another brand. Like that's kind of like a known commodity from within the last 30 years. Like they had a highly visible brand. So again, like a team like that, sure. But I mean, if you're one of these, like I don't even think like a Penn State could even do that. Could they? Like no, who's paying money for like a Penn State?
They're regional, man. Who cares?
Right? No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like it takes a unique brand or something like that, or like a very large following to be able to pull it off. But yeah, I mean, there's a handful of teams that can do it, right? Like there's at least a handful of them.
All right, where's the cutoff? Let's figure out where the cutoff is. So obviously Notre Dame can do it. We think Miami could do it.
Ohio State.
We just jumped to the end though because clearly
Oregon,
there's only one.
Michigan can do it.
Alabama.
Mookie, you said there's only one. It's just
there's only one because there's only one team that does it. Everyone else is a bunch of pussies. Like,
but what I'm saying is like these teams are going to see if they hack the code, and they're going to look. I think teams are going to look at. I think USC could be in that. Yes, I think Oregon could be a team that could probably pull it off. Oklahoma, Texas, those two teams could be.
Yeah, Texas for sure. I mean, they already had the Longhorn Network. They definitely.
Now we're starting to get to the like.
That's where you.
Clemson, could Clemson do it?
I don't think so. I think they're just below that cutoff line. Like I think that'd be where.
Well, and like I think Clemson's their success is like too recent.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not long term, and the brand doesn't hold cachet. Like that's not.
Here's what we should do. All right, you know what? Get one of the interns on this. A team that has won a title in multiple decades, because I feel like that's effectively what you need. Is you need to be highly successful in the last 3 decades, at least once in each decade. Because like you need some staying power. Other these flash of the pan Clemsons that come up and then they go down, or like the Louisvilles who are only good when they have a Lamar Jackson at the helm. It's not a long list. It's maybe 5 teams. Maybe.
Well, I just
Yeah,
think
because honestly, I
you're
would even argue.
I'm not wrong. I'm not.
I'd even
wrong
argue
with
that Georgia
that list that I
doesn't
gave
make
you.
the
I
cutoff. Like
I don't know,
Georgia,
man.
who's won recently, doesn't make the cutoff for me because
I don't think so either.
They're not a big enough brand, and their success is too recent. So like they're close,
Right.
but they're in the same. I put them in the same bracket as like Clemson. Like they're underneath that line, and they don't have enough historical brand name to push past it. Like it's a handful of teams that can pull it off. It's not a whole lot. But there's enough that you'd be like, damn, that's a powerhouse independent conference right there. Like, even though they aren't affiliated with each other, like if they were all to pool in and into an independent conference, it would be wild.
You can't call it an independent conference. That's
Yes,
that
was the joke.
No, I don't appreciate that. I don't.
Or you could, because like in the video game, every week someone from the Independents gets the award for offensive and defensive player of the week. So it's a great place to be because your players are always getting awards. So you're like, hey, come on in here and you're gonna win some hardware, man. So what's our final list then? Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame,
Texas, Oklahoma,
Alabama,
USC, Oregon.
Ugh, I don't know about Oregon, man. I mean, they
Dude,
got Nike money.
Oregon totally could do that.
Yeah, Oregon.
Are there enough Oregon fans to support it, or is it just Phil Knight's money funding this so he can watch them anywhere in the world?
Also
yes. No, the answer to that question is yes.
Okay.
Like, I mean, that's it. Like, I mean, it's pay to sit at the table, but that's what they've done for the last 30 years is pay to be in the conversation, and it's worked. So they can do it based off that. It's brand recognition.
And that's part of what I'm saying, though.
That's why they get the kids they get.
Tank's got a great list. He says you have to have 1, history, 2, playoff relevant every year, 3, have a fan base that is beyond your state. And I think that's the part that Oregon's missing in. And I'd say even number 1, prior to 2000, they have no history of being anywhere near successful.
I think you don't necessarily have to have the playoff relevant every year. I think you just have to have the threat of being playoff relevant.
And Oregon's done that
if
for about
you
30
can bring
years.
in that money, that's all they really care about. And Oregon can bring in that money. Like Oregon can totally bring in money.
Do they though? When they travel these bowl games, do they bring in the money?
Yes.
Like, really?
Yes, I think Oregon brings in a good amount. I think
he thinks.
Again, it's a brand. No, it's a brand, man.
Yeah, you are completely understating Oregon and their money power with that backing that Phil Knight had. Look at if Oregon couldn't sell the various jerseys that they put out, they wouldn't do it. But they are clearly making money on all of these different types of jerseys that they release every single year. Phil Knight's not just like making new jerseys for fun. He's making new jerseys because he knows he can sell them on the Nike team shop and make a boatload of money on them. And there's enough fans that are buying it.
Look, I Googled it, and the AI overview does say the Oregon fan base is generally considered to travel well. So if AI says it, it must be right. So
timeout. Hang on, Mookie's got to go into timeout. So you are officially in timeout, Mookie. You are not allowed to speak for a few minutes because you were wrong. And
the adults in the room are talking.
You have to just sit there and listen to us as we talk about how wrong you were.
So what are we saying? Like, is the cutoff 7, or are we gonna like? Are we only? It's just what number we get to.
I think it's just whatever we get to, and I think teams can play their way into that every year. Or
sure, yeah,
that's the other thing is you can totally play your way out of that.
I mean, you could, but
don't you unmute yourself, Mookie? Don't you unmute yourself? You're still in timeout. Are you kidding me? You can't unmute yourself when you're in timeout.
But I don't think that the teams we've listed though could play themselves out of it. Like it would take a long time.
He pulled himself out of the stream.
But I just hit stop cam because I'm like, oh, if I stop my camera, maybe when I come back on, it'll bust me out of the bubble. But nope, didn't work. So I know. And Sarah, an AI search does count as a Google because I just Google search and the AI thing comes up the top. So we're up to 2 Googles for us, and we told the kids at home to Google one thing because we counted.
I want to switch gears. I want to talk about Charlie Huff for a second, boys, before we start talking NFL. Charlie Huff, if you remember, was the Marshall coach last year who had a great season, and then Marshall decided they didn't bring him back. Bless you. So then he left Marshall and went to Southern Miss, and almost all of the Marshall team came with them, and they couldn't play in their bowl game because they didn't have enough guys because everybody was in the transfer portal. So he was talking at a conference, and somebody asked him what the biggest challenge was that he faced in the locker room with everything that's changing in college football. What was the big divisive thing in the locker room? So I want your guesses, fellas. What was it that drove the most arguments and the most contentiousness within the locker room in Marshall this past season? Scott, you go first.
Kids transferring out.
Transfer portal.
Ooh,
good guess. Yeah. Good guess. Go ahead, Mookie.
I'm going to go one step further because they were transferring out because they were arguing about NIL money.
NIL money, also a good guess because all we've heard all year long.
Wait.
And
I have a bonus guess. Uncrustables.
Uncrustables. This isn't the NFL, Scott. We don't have an Uncrustable budget at Marshall. Yes, we've heard all year that NIL and the transfer portal are ruining college football. It is.
I have one more guess.
Of those things. Go ahead. I'll give you one more guess.
Player girlfriends.
No, I was gonna say Fortnite, Roblox, whatever the shit is the kids play these days.
Guitar Hero.
League of Legends.
Close. You are on the right path there, Mookie. The biggest thing that drove divisiveness within the Marshall locker room.
College 25. God damn it.
College football 25.
Yep.
Specifically, the players' ratings. They would come into the coach's office pissed off at what they were rated in college football 25 and yell at him about their ratings, telling him they needed to fix the ratings.
Oh my God. Amazing. That's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought they were yelling at each other over playing and losing in the game against one another or something, or they would, that's bullshit. You're not that speed rating. They legit thought the coaching staff.
They thought it was the coach's fault for how they were rated in college football 25 and would come into it.
He did the right move in getting away from all them kids because, you can't look stupid.
They all followed him. The whole team followed him to Southern Miss.
I thought only half the team, but yeah. Gosh. Shit.
Enough of the team that.
Well, but maybe those were the kids who weren't asking him to fix the rating. Where he's like, look, I know you're the third string backup kicker who's a piece of shit walk-on, but you know what, kid? You have the right character to not question me about your college football 25 rating.
I thought that was only a thing that that NFL players and Jets ownership cared about. I didn't realize the college players cared about it too, but here we are with the Marshall players being very pissed off.
I would just be happy I was in the game.
As would I. But I guess that's the difference between us and a Division I college athlete is we would just be happy to be there. They want better ratings at Marshall ? Right. If I was the coach, I'd be like, bro, you play for Marshall. You're lucky you're even there. I don't know what to tell you. You're lucky they've got our fight song in this game. Just be happy. Just be happy your name's on the screen. I don't know what to tell you.
I'd be like, look at the created coach that's supposed to represent me. Look at how low my rating is because of how low your rating is. So you see how that works? Your rating is low because of me, and my rating is low because of you. It's syncope. Get out of my office, you idiot.
I didn't get $500 and a free copy of the game. I want to hear your shit.
Right.
$600. All right,
wow, man, inflation.
Let's switch gears and head over to the NFL, boys, because the playoffs.
Did we hit the drop?
Yes, we hit the drop. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I don't remember hearing it. I'm just
talking football for.
I know, but
40 minutes now. We definitely hit the drop.
Hey, Scott,
I'm not worried about you, bro. I'm legit worried about you. I'm scared for you, my man. I just get nervous.
Are we gonna at all even acknowledge the one story I sent you on Google Chat this week that I said we should talk about on the show?
Oh yeah,
that's why you should worry about me.
We'll talk about that story. We'll shoehorn the story that doesn't fit into anything else somewhere in this. We'll just have a Mookie takes the wheel. How about that?
I mean, I feel like
takes the wheel tonight. It's been a while. After NFL talk. Mookie takes the wheel. All right, deal? Does that sound like a fair plan?
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure.
Don't fucking choke now, Mook. You better not choke this one away. I'm giving you the wheel here after this NFL talk. Don't you choke it away.
There's 100% chance he chokes it away.
Give me the ball, coach. Give me the ball. Drop me, coach. All right. So playoffs are underway. And I mentioned this at the top of the show. The NFL is already talking about changing the playoff structure for next year. It's been a point of contention for as long as I can remember. The division winners get the home games. The wild card teams go on the road. But they are now talking about next year potentially switching that, where home team is decided by winning percentage rather than being a division winner. So no longer will we have a potentially losing record in a division winner hosting a playoff game. And this all came down because Minnesota was a wild card team and they had to go play the Rams, and the Rams didn't have as good of a record. But then it didn't really matter because the Rams beat the shit out of the Vikings anyways. So I like the home team advantage was kind of thrown out the window at that point. So I just feel like this is a weird thing that they're throwing out there. And maybe it is because of the Vikings. Maybe they're like, if the Vikings had a home game there, that would have been a closer game. I don't think the location mattered, especially since nobody
was a neutral site.
Nobody was at home in that game.
Yeah, like I don't want to hear your bitching, Vikings. Everyone knew y'all were frauds to begin with. Okay, like let's be real. The Lions boat raced you twice this year. Like, shut up, go home, and be happy with Sam Darnold having one season that made you relevant. That's all I got to say.
I get so annoyed at how reactionary the NFL is, but on this, like, they're on like a 30-second delay. Like, fans have been clamoring and arguing about why this hasn't been a thing for like 20 years. Like, for real, this has been a problem for the longest time, and the league is just like, yeah, whatever. Now all of a sudden they decided it's a problem, and it's like, yeah, this hasn't made sense the whole time. There's always been this random time where some undeserving fucking team who won their division gets to host some team that's better than them just because of the way, like, it's just like reseeding in the whole thing. Like, why don't we reseed? Like, don't just have the brackets and not reseed. That doesn't make sense. It took them forever to come to that conclusion.
We do reseed. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Finally, we're like, we do reseed. Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, everything is so reactionary, but it's on a delay. Like, I don't understand why it took so damn long for them to be like, yeah, you're right, this is kind of stupid.
Well, and Tank brings up a great point. What's the point of divisions then? Like, that's true. Like, at that point, just go to the NBA model of just, here's your Eastern teams, here's your Western teams, the top teams from each get in. Like, at that point, don't have divisions.
It's literally just a scheduling thing. Like, you're going to schedule these teams more just because, it's fucking cheaper. Like, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I get that argument, but nobody at the end of the day, here's why you just do whatever either way is nobody gives a crap about the division. Nobody's sitting out here like, yeah, we're the division champs. Like, that's not a badge of honor. So, you know,
well, they do.
Nobody,
because it gets you in the playoffs.
Nobody has a T-shirt that says "Kings of the North" with a Bengal and a crown on. Nobody has that.
No, I'm not. Whoa! I'm not saying that these teams don't market to idiot fans, that type of thing.
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
buy gear like that. What a bunch of stupid idiots.
But what I'm saying is, I've never met somebody in real life who's out there like, you know, despite getting blasted in the first round of the playoffs or whatever, knowing that it was Jit Division, like wearing it as a badge of honor, like, yo, well, we were Western Division champs last year. It's like, cool.
Yeah. Nobody's bragged about being back-to-back AFC North champions ever. Nobody's done that. That'd be stupid, right? Right? That'd be a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, coming from a guy who rooted for a baseball team that won the NL East for, 15 straight years, and it amounted to a whole lot of nothing. No, you know, nobody ever. This is like, it's the worst way to. Oh well, the NIT champs. That's different. That's in jest. Like,
it may be in jest, but I'm pretty sure there's a banner in Cintas. So, like,
well,
say what you want, man.
It might be in jest, but there's a T-shirt on our shop right now, baby. Like,
well, no, doesn't this say 69th best team? I mean, that's a little different, right?
Very specific. Same thing. Anyways, so Do we think they change it? Do we think Robert Taylor is in the comments saying they're not going to change it until it affects the Bills, but that's only after it affects the Chiefs and the Bills vote against it. Spoken like a true Chiefs homer over there in the chat. Is that what it's going to take? Is it going to take Josh Allen getting screwed over after it screws over the Chiefs before they change it? Or is this really going to because they're saying as early as next year. Like they said, it could be as early as next year that we see
I
this
think
shit.
they finally just realized that it's been dumb that they haven't been doing it the whole time, and they'll fix it. Like I don't think that. I'm not saying that they because again, being reactionaries there. I mean, remember we got the rule change right after Favre got knocked out of the playoffs when he was with the Vikings in that Saints game, where it was just like, oh, we've got to change this rule immediately. Like this has got to be changed. So the NFL doesn't have any problem with like not even being transparent about why they're changing the rule, and it's to help whatever team they view as having just gotten screwed over one way or the other. So
Looking ahead at the divisional round, first of all, the opening round games, wildcard round, was all stinkers. There wasn't a real. I mean, I guess the Washington game was probably the best game. The Washington Buccaneers game. That's probably
literally the only good game.
But otherwise, what a garbage weekend of playoff football. Like nothing exciting. How the turntables have turned. Because
well done.
Normally, it's college football with the really shitty playoffs until the national championship game, and then the NFL with like compelling storylines throughout the playoffs, and then a Super Bowl that could go. But like this time around, Notre Dame, Penn State, great game. Ohio State, Texas, great game. NFL weekend, dog shit all the way throughout. Like it was awful football once we hit Saturday. It was not fun to watch. I didn't enjoy myself. I found myself like tuning in and then just being like, well, let's see if Dexter's, if I can get to this new episode of Dexter. Like I was so checked out of the playoffs this weekend because of how bad the games were outside of that Washington game. And I feel like this coming weekend, it's going to be more of the same outside of the Ravens-Bills game. Like that's the only one that's going to be worth a damn to watch. Out of everything else, kind of garbage. Go ahead, Mook.
Oh, I was just waiting for you to just immediately react to Robert Taylor saying, no, fuck that, Mike. The Bengals did not deserve to be there, so don't start.
I'm not even saying that. Like, I'm not even, although that is pretty funny. And I heard a lot of people say that they use the SEC charges against them with like, man, Steelers shouldn't have even been there. Should have had the Bengals in the playoffs. But it was just bad like it wasn't entertaining at all to watch. And anybody who can sit there and say, no, those were great playoff games, you're lying. You're absolutely lying to yourself.
Or your parlay hit. There's reasons to be excited, but
hold on. No, you need to sit in this one for a second. Hang on.
Well, you scroll.
Who isn't having fun because you're the party's degenerate gambler.
Hey, gotta do something.
Also, that's probably why I'm pissed off, because neither of my parlays hit this weekend, and I'm very pissed off about it. Saquon Barkley sliding, taking a knee, not going in and scoring, needed a Saquon touchdown to finish that parlay, and then Justin Jefferson not getting in the end zone last night at all.
The game was scripted right there. That's why your boy don't gamble.
Dude, that was the only one I needed. I hit every other leg. It was like
so many people lost money on that.
It's like the last leg was Saquon anytime touchdown. I was like, this is a wrap. This is going down, and it didn't. And then last night I texted you, Mook. All I need is a Justin Jefferson touchdown to finish this parlay. Neither of those hit because.
But like I told you, you should have cashed out early.
But I told you, like our boy Cesar says, fuck it, we ball. So I was right, and I was in. And he thumbs up that message, so I took that as, yeah, you're right. We're balling on this one.
See, and Dorian agrees with us. The Vikings and Saquon ruined two of his parlays. So, but see, again, that's a reason to watch at least. Something to do.
It wasn't a reason to watch. It was a reason to get pissed off. And then I was even more mad because they ruined the parlay and it wasn't good football. Like it was a double whammy. That it's like, God, this is terrible. Do you think we get better games this round? Now that we've moved on, like looking at the matchups, you got the Lions and the Commies, the Rams and the Eagles, the Chiefs and the Texans, and then the Ravens and the Bills. It's really just the Ravens and Bills, right? That's the only game worth watching?
No, I think that Chiefs-Texans game is actually going to be good. Texans, the only action that I caught any of the NFL this weekend was the Chargers-Texans. And I mean, a couple of weeks ago, Texans on defense looked like they had never played defense. And then against the Chargers, who pretty decent offense and, like some weapons there, they put the clamps on. That defense looked good. And I'm just scared. I mean, I don't think the Chiefs are going to lose. Don't get me wrong. But I do think that it's going to be like a good playoff game. Like, Chiefs are generally good for that. Like, they don't tend to play in a crazy amount of blowouts. Like, all of their games are good, whether or not they, pull them out all the time, but they're still interesting to watch. So I'm going to say that.
Okay, there's the distinction right there. They're interesting to watch. It's not that they're good games. It's that they're close games, and I think that's a distinction that we need to make this year.
I mean, okay, that's
close games.
That's a more an NFL problem than anything, because I've been saying for a long time that the NFL just ain't that fucking entertaining. Like, there's just not. Like, the entertainment value in the NFL has been going down for a while, and the line between actual good product and and good football games has been blurred. Where you're just like, oh, if you're Mookie, is my parlay gonna hit? Are my fantasy players doing well? That's the measure of a good game, whether or not the game itself was actually good, because most of these games suck. Like, they really do. Like, football wise, they're terrible.
All right, so not worth watching. Good to know. Thank you. I'm not missing much with my team not
I
being
was gonna say
Still
it'll be
another
most lost weekend.
Check out the bonus bets and options you have. Maybe a parlay boost here and there. Like, you'll still just throw something at it, right? What do you got to lose?
I do have a no sweat bet that I get back.
I see. There you go.
I do have that from one
the
of the
fun continues.
All right, I do want to talk NFL coaching vacancies because, man, Jerral with an all-time petty move.
What the fuck is this guy doing, man?
Jared Jones, if you guys don't recall, the Bears reached out to the Cowboys and asked permission to interview Mike McCarthy for their opening. And Jerry said no. Jerry was like, no. You don't get to interview Mike McCarthy.
I'm not done with this toy. You can't have it yet. That's basically what it was.
Less than a week later, showed him the door. Like, what a dick move to be like, no. You cannot interview for the Bears. You're our coach. Now you're not our coach anymore. Get the fuck out. Like, that's amazing. I kind of respect Jerry for doing that. But Mike McCarthy showing the door in what none of us was really surprised about. But the big surprise.
No, this ain't the big surprise. This is another scripted move. I mean, we've been talking about this since the beginning of the college season. Come on, this ain't a surprise. Nothing about it.
Are you talking about Mike Vrabel to the Patriots?
No, I mean, we knew that.
No, I'm talking about Deion.
There are two names that are being rumored as
Deion to the Cowboys.
Deion and Jason Witten. Jason Witten's name is getting thrown around as the head coach of the Cowboys.
I had this conversation with my brother, a diehard Cowboys fan, earlier today, and he is just over the shenanigans. He's like, those two names just prove that, like, I don't know if Jerra's like was sticking it to McCarthy, or he's just so far gone and lost his marbles that it's just whatever. Like, he's just in it to sell tickets. And my brother said he's just not serious about winning anymore. Like, he's like, these moves are just proven he's just not serious about winning anymore. So he can't take them seriously. He's like, and if they hire Deion, he's like, it's just going to be an eye rolling moment. Cause we don't know.
Okay. Hold on. Is Deion, would that be that bad a move? Like,
yeah, it would be.
He has at least coached a program now at two different institutions for several years.
At two different institutions with his son as the quarterback.
Right. You draft him, bring him to the NFL.
No. That's not how this whole thing works. Like, you just can't keep on.
You said this story.
Yes, I know.
Right. I know
it's scripted. Like, but what I'm saying is that part of it where you bring in your coach. Like, I don't really know. We don't know if Deion can coach. We don't. We
Well,
have no.
actually, I'm gonna be
Like
honest,
we don't have.
I don't think he can.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a,
how did he
like,
not make it to the Big 12 title game when it was
honestly?
weak as it was,
Honestly,
right?
the consensus is probably
Heisman
that
Trophy
he
winner.
can't. But because he's entertaining, because he gets the recruits in there, because he's cool and shit. I mean, for Deion's own sake, he probably should coach a year without his son as the quarterback, or at least Jerral should want to see that before he's committing to him to like handing the reins over to an NFL franchise. Like he's never done this. Like it's a horrible move, and it's all just to plaster up Cowboys nostalgia. Look at we brought him back, bang bang bang.
Or
look at it's the Cowboys, we back baby. And if they pull a Jason Witten, it's the same thing. Remember when we were good? Woo! Yeah, the glory days. We got this. Neither of these two men can coach. I'm sorry.
Scott, you're missing the chance for that 4D chess because I think Gabe hit it on the head. Jason Witten it is. Jerry is still a racist, and Deion is just his Rooney Rule interview.
No. Yeah, because Gabe's right. Jared's racist, but he ain't got no problem getting somebody for his minstrel show. If he can get Deion out there dancing and fucking selling tickets and talking all his shit, woo! You know Jared ain't got no problem making no money off no black man, so he'll do it. That's how racist he is. So no, I see your racism, Gabe, and I raise you.
Race card.
For those of you listening to the audio-only version of this, I would highly encourage you to tune into the video version of tonight's episode, Craft Brewed Sports YouTube channel, to see Scott's little jig he did there along with that segment, because that was fantastic, my friend.
Jerra is the Vince McMahon of the actual sports world. That's it. Period.
Rex Ryan didn't get the job in New York either. That was weird.
Yeah, shit. Who did they hire? I missed that.
Nobody. They just said we're not hiring.
Oh, they just said pass?
They just were like, not Rex. Like, we don't know who it is. Not Rex. At this point, he was the first one eliminated, which was amazing because Rex Ryan has been talking all the shit on TV about how I feel pretty good about this. I feel pretty good. I'm going to be back in New York. I feel pretty good that I'm the guy who can get them back to where they need to be. Vrabel got hired in New England, and he was like, I'm looking forward to beating this guy's ass twice a year. And then the next day, the Jets were like, not him, not the foot guy. We're out. We're out with Rex Ryan.
Well, again, we've already been on this ride. Like, we know how this ends. Why so far removed would you be like, yeah, Rex Ryan is the answer for this rudderless franchise? Like, even the Jets know they're the Jets at this point. They're like, we can't do that. That's too much a parody of ourselves to hire the guy we used to have here to fuck it all up again.
Guys, we gotta go back. Sorry, we gotta switch this up here because I need to know what Dorian is saying here, because Dorian said Jerry is so racist he doesn't even use his real name. Now I know he doesn't acknowledge his kids. What's Jerry's real name? Because I just tried to Google it, and all I'm seeing is Jerry. Did he scrub the internet of what his real name is? And I need to know what it is now, and I will only call him by that. He's treading into William Sweeney territory here if he's chosen to go by Jerry. I don't know about this. Mookie, how'd you take the Rex Ryan news?
I literally just found out, so it's fucking hilarious, man.
Jerral? His real name is Jerral?
Jerral Wayne Jones Sr.
It fucking is! That's amazing! Jerral Jones from now on.
Wow, dude.
Also, Jerral Wayne Jones, that's a serial killer. That's a serial killer name, fellas.
Wow.
That's a dude who... Thanks that Jerry Jones equals Leo and Django. Oh boy. All right, Mookie. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna let you take the wheel. You had a topic you dropped in.
Oh yeah.
You didn't put it in the group chat, which is always scary when Mookie decides not to put something in the group chat and go off on his own. So here we go. Mookie, take the wheel.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
And it wasn't even that I didn't put in the group chat for any nefarious reason. It was more just that last time I did that, fucking iPhone didn't send the message. So I made sure to send this to you when I saw that there's a new place that people can exercise their demons and chase their vices, because they're now allowing
wait. They can exercise their demons. So do they like take them to the gym? They hit the elliptical with them.
like those things that
Hey demons!
Yeah.
Hey demons, come on!
We're gonna go work it out, man.
We're going to
2 more sets, you demon pussy. Let's go. Push it.
Okay.
Right.
Go on.
Isn't that what you do? You satisfy your vices and exercise your demons?
You exercise your demons. But,
I don't know. I kind of like my way better.
exercise them. Wait,
'Cause
hey,
I'm not
hey,
trying to get rid of my demons. I'm trying to find.
Thursdays is Jazzercise with your demons day.
In fairness, Mookie is correct. Exercise, not EXEREXOR. Like the exorcist, the exercise.
Yeah, it's one of those like homonym things, right?
Homonym things. Oh, go
Hey
ahead.
man, I did that.
Just think, I just look. I had to. I just think Ace Ventura, and it was like I have exercised the demons.
That heavily lifts. Where, by the way, if you're a Notre Dame fan, you get free admission. Help us win a national title. Get yourself in.
Sarah said, "Don't get him off track."
Right.
Go. Rein it in, Mook. Rein it in.
So,
Here you go.
Sorry.
But it is good to talk about exercising him, because this is going to offer us a form of muscle confusion when gambling, because there is a new platform announced on the Solana blockchain, which tells you it's legit. If they're putting this shit on crypto, that's how you know you've stumbled on some good stuff.
Oh dear God.
But two firms, Pump.Science and Hedgehog Markets, are launching a project that will allow people to wager on trials and scientific research. So they're going to be giving these mice compounds that they're hoping will elongate their athletic performance and lifespan. And as they give these compounds to these mice, they'll be doing clinical trials in the lab with them, and you can bet on which mice does the best.
Okay, so let me recap here, because when you sent this to me, I read the headline and I did not read further. But let me try to summarize what I just heard there. Mookie is very excited because he can bet crypto on juiced up rats running through a maze. Do I have that correct? You are excited to be able to bet on rats on steroids that are running through a maze. That's where we're at in 2025.
To be fair, they're not running through a maze. They're trying to stay on a spinning spindle. Like it's a balance kind of thing. So they're not running through a maze. But yeah, technically you're right. Yeah.
That's a pretty sweet.
We're betting on clinical trials. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Scott, can I borrow you for a second? Can you and I talk for just 1 second?
Yes.
Here? I just want to talk to you real quick. I'm fucking worried about him, man. I'm really worried about him. Like that's
gambling. This is an addiction on a whole new level.
This is bad. Like I think we need to have that intervention. Like we got to plan this now.
Well, no, but
Mookie, shh. Hold on. We're having a conversation here.
Should I go back in my bubble?
No, don't go back in the bubble. I'm not putting you in timeout. I just, we just have to have a quick talk here. We just have to talk. Scott, like, listen. He's betting on rats on steroids. Running through. That's a problem. We gotta tell him, like, he's jumped the shark.
Yeah, he's one step away from selling the family car for gambling money. Like
I'm worried. I'm worried for him. I'm worried for the kid. I'm worried
the rat. Clinical trial.
I'm scared of the rats. What happens if he loses a parlay? He's not going after an athlete because it's an athlete. But if he loses a parlay on a rat,
asking for a friend who doesn't have an addiction. Where do you even place these bets? Like FanDuel is like, who's opening up these? Who's opening up these bets?
Blockchain?
Like, who's he finding that's taking this action?
They've totally stolen his identity at this point. He's betting on ridiculous things. All right, let's. I think we should let's tell him. Mookie, hey man, sorry about that. Don't do this, bud. Please. Don't do this.
I haven't been able to figure out how to get the VPN to work right to get access to the blockchain it's on. because I can't, like with Polymarket, I couldn't bet on the election because you couldn't use it in America. So there's a little bit of workarounds I still have to do. So don't worry, I'm not diving all the way in yet.
Rex said 1-855 gambler. Thanks said Mookie is betting on medical experience. This is a slippery slope. This is the slipperiest of slopes.
Hey, look, all I'm saying,
It's not just medical experience; it's medical experiments with rats. Like,
well, yeah, because I'm not going to bet on human trials, dude. Like that's.
oh, I know that's
Yeah,
a line. That's a line
weird.
too
That's
far.
risky, dude.
Bridge
I'm not
too
going to
far.
be out here betting on if this, drug cocktail cures Jimmy's cancer. That would be terrible. But I mean, they're just mice, man. Like you might as well.
He
like, just
gambles
have
every
fun with it.
day, thinks about it every day, bets on rats, but he's not addicted.
yeah,
He can
do
quit
whatever I
whenever
want.
he wants.
Oh,
You can't be
He's
addicted to
a
something you're
gambler.
good at either. Like, come on.
oh.
Not
Yeah,
human.
Sarah, great point. Not human trials, but kids, meh. Little League World
That
Series.
is a competitive environment, not someone fighting for their life, though.
Mookie,
Sarah.
please promise me. Listen, I love you, man. I do. I really love you, and I care about you. Please don't bet on rats and medical trials. Please, just don't. Just
Told you I
promise
can't.
me.
Can't get
Promise
access.
me. I will support all of your parlays
Okay.
and your money lines and your whatever you're cooking up. Please don't bet on rats and medical trials.
I can promise you I won't bet on rats and medical trials until the new SEC chairman allows us to do this stuff in America.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Damn it, Mookie. All right.
Stand for crypto.
Let's talk basketball.
Boom shakalaka!
Fellas, the death of March Madness is here. It's over. It's done. Count it out, because a leaked document was found this week where the Power Four conferences have all come together.
Wait, hold on. Back up.
Okay.
How does a leaked document get found? Like
It
if-
was leaked.
If
it
it
was-
was leaked,
it was-
somebody like made sure that it got to the proper channels.
Well,
There's,
I
like-
think it was,
like-
I think it was an accidental leak.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna leak this. I'm just gonna leave this here on the sidewalk. If anybody's interested in this leak over here,
It's not. No, it's
hey,
not.
I found this leak.
It's not like what ironically Mike Leach did in Oklahoma, where he like dropped the fake playbook and people were like, "Wow, we got their fucking plays," and then it wasn't the right plays. Like that's a heady move. This, and I don't think this is like an on purpose leak of like, "Hey, I'm sending this shit out." I think this was like almost like hacked. It was more hacked than leaked. I
okay,
think
all
would be
right,
the
all
way
right.
to put it. But there was a document that was discovered this week that details a proposal where the Power Four conferences are looking to try to take March Madness away from the NCAA. The Power Four conferences,
Yes.
SEC, Big Ten. No, don't say yes, Scott. Don't say
No.
yes. This is not a good thing. This is a bad thing. I know you
Oh.
don't like the NCAA, but this is a bad thing, because if this happens, what the proposal is, and this has been verified by Greg Sankey at the SEC, also the dude from the ACC, they have verified that, like, yes, this is a thing that we are starting to talk about doing. This is going to give the Power Four teams the ability to control the tournament format. It's going to give them the ability to control revenue distribution, and it's going to give them the selection committee to determine who gets into March Madness. Do you remember, Scott, what happened no more than 4 weeks ago when the Big Ten and the SEC looked at these playoffs and went, what the fuck? We should have more than we should have 4 teams each in this playoff, and they're probably going to make that happen. Now imagine that in March Madness. Like, you have those 4 conferences, and they're going to look at it, and they're going to go, there's 64 teams that make us. There's 4 of us. Seems like we should be getting about like 12 each in here, right? And then we'll sprinkle in a couple for mid majors. Like, March Madness as we know it, dead. It is gone. There is no way they're going to allow the Big East a seat at the table. They're not going to allow the MAC a seat at the table. They're not going to guarantee these conference champions. They're already mad that Boise State got into the college football playoffs. You think they're going to let fucking VCU make it through the Final Four? No, that's not going to happen. They are going to ruin this tournament if they get control of this, guy. So I know you hate the NCAA. Not this way, man. Not this way.
Sometimes sacrifices have to be made.
Oh, don't do it, Scott.
There's shrapnel that has to be taken, my man. And you know what?
It's your school. Your
school
school is going to suffer. They're not going to let Xavier in. The Big East doesn't have a seat at the table. They're not power four.
And I understand that. I get that. But
I don't think you do.
This is why I'm going to get an answer. Like, unselfishly, you get one or the other, right? We got football the way we wanted. Well, basketball is just going to have to be let the chips fall where they may. If it means Xavier's on the outside looking in, as long as the football thing is still running the way it should be, it sucks but has Xavier taken advantage of being in any other situation anyway? No. So what's it? What are they? They're going to have less chance of winning a national championship than they do now, which is not very good as is. Playing in the Big East in a conference they're not capable of playing in currently. Like, I don't know.
They beat Nova today.
It's Scott again. It's not about a national title. It's about a Final Four. We just got to get to a Final
right.
Four.
Well, whatever.
Like, we could do that now. Like, that's not crazy.
Could we? I don't know.
It
feels like we're farther away than we've ever been. Like it feels like we're getting closer or farther away, not closer. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me as a jaded Xavier fan, but it just doesn't feel like we're making any progress towards it.
Mookie, I don't remember who in the chat had the comment, so I can't give. I don't know if it was you or Tim in the group chat, but somebody in the group chat said that hot take Sean Miller is just expensive Travis Steele, and nothing has been truer in my
yeah.
Like, it's been bad, boys. But we can't do this. We can't allow the Power Four to take March Madness. Mookie, I see your face. You're with me on this, right? Like, you agree
absolutely
that we cannot let this happen.
Sarah said it here in the chat. She goes, you never know when we can go on a run. And like Xavier said it a couple of times, we've gotten ourselves to Elite Eight. There's a chance for that. But a lot of times those teams, they may not be a conference title winning team. And like you said, if these big conferences get a hold, it's going to become everybody's a mid-major. If you're not one of the four, you're a mid-major and you got to win the title to get in. Otherwise, like, have fun in the NIT. Well, wait a minute. Maybe this makes the NIT fun again.
Ooh, so the March
Some
Madness
people might say
is
that'd be
those
really
four?
good for our country, is the NIT being fun again. Some
Make the
people
NIT
might
I don't know. They're saying it.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel
Who
like
can
we
say?
need to make the NIT great again t-shirt. That should be a t-shirt we make, fellas. We need to make the NIT great again.
More shit I would wear in public proudly. Like, my favorite part is when
that's
people,
not a
when you
good idea.
catch
I like
them
that.
doing the double takes when they read their shirt and they go, wait, what the fuck? What in NIL? What? Oh, it's the best.
What a great shirt, by the way, for us this year. We really
my
need to
God,
market that
right.
more. In NIL We Trust with Touchdown Jesus on there.
we know what we should do is just
Marcus
go to
Freeman.
campus and drop a bunch on Notre Dame's campus.
No, I mean Marcus Freeman.
Yes,
Freeman.
Freeman.
How do you spell that? Is that free capital F man capital M, or is it like two separate words, or like
It's two
hyphenated?
separate words. You keep the lowercase m, but it's free space man.
Thanks, said NIT for Patriots only. we put that shirt, we make that a camo shirt, fucking flying off the shelves. Flying.
Furthermore, we could start a petition that the NIT includes the entire Patriot League conference, because why the fuck not, right?
It's the Patriot League, Army and Navy get guarantee first round.
Oh, yeah,
buys.
Air Force.
Air Force is in there every year. I like this. All right, fellas. We can't let this happen, right? Scott's on board with the Power Four taking over everything. Like Rex says, if it starts with basketball, it could shift to football if it had great success. They already have control over.
Yeah, I was just gonna say football's already it's already there.
The thing that I worry about though is like them in football, and this is kind of an example. Like, granted, we had the Big Ten and the SEC saying like we need more seats. But they only guaranteed one spot to somebody outside of their little circle. Like outside of the main group, they were like, you get one. And that's what I think is going to happen to March Madness. They're not going to guarantee every single mid-major conference. You think they're really going to be like, you know what? Youngstown stayed out of the Horizon League. You deserve it. Come on in. Come on in, buddy. You
We'd
come
love
hang
to
out
see a
with us for a little bit.
25-3.
No, they're gonna get booted. And if they do make it, because they control the revenue sharing, it doesn't mean shit. They're not going to get any money out of this. So I don't like this at all. I don't like it one bit. Call me a socialist if you have to. Got to stick with what we got.
Yeah, you're a fucking socialist.
Yeah, sorry you had to bite that bullet, Mike. Sheesh. Didn't
I
realize
mean, he asked for it.
like it went all the way there.
All right, we're about to hit overtime, but let's talk soccer. I am fully prepared for the overtime drop to ruin this intro to the story. So I'm going to vamp for a second, and then I will hit the overtime drop on myself because this story is too good. Like the details around this one. This is the greatest firing I have ever heard, fellas. The greatest reason to be fired that I have ever heard from somebody, and it comes from the soccer world. So Mookie, you better be excited because I'm willingly talking soccer on this show for
It only took someone losing their job. No big deal.
1.
Miller for three. Oh, he backed it in. We're going to overtime.
Mookie, what do you know about the Serie A team Lazio? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Lazio.
I think I actually have one of their jerseys because it's a nice crisp white with blue trim. But
Does it have the eagle on the crest? You got the eagle on the crest
maybe
on
not,
Lazio's logo?
I'll have to
Lazio
check.
is a team that apparently they have an eagle on their crest. It's like a big part of their stadium experience. They have a falconer who comes in, and before every game, an eagle flies over the stadium and lands on this guy's arm, and they're
That's
like,
dope.
this is fucking cool. This is great. The falconer got fired, though, this week, fellas. He is no longer going to be there.
Diddling the Falcon.
Say that again?
I said, was he diddling the Falcon again?
He was not diddling the Falcon. No, Olympia, the eagle, is safe. However, Olympia will no longer be flying at Lazio Stadium because now let's go back a little bit. Let's take a quick trip back to 2021 when this same falconer, a guy by the name of Juan Burnaby, was suspended by the team. Why was he suspended? Because at the end of a match, he was putting up let's call it a one-armed hand gesture that is a fascist symbol and chanting leader at the end of this game. And when asked what was going on there, he said, I did it and I don't regret it because I admire Mussolini. He did great things for Italy as Franco did for Spain. And they just suspended him. Suspension. Welcome back to the club, my man. Welcome back.
Take a beat. Think about what you did.
Yeah.
We're not gonna fire you.
Go in the bubble. Go on mute. That's effectively what they
Till
did.
things blow over.
But this time he went too far, fellas, because Barnaby, I think that's his name, Burnaby, had a little elective procedure done over the weekend. He went ahead and got an implant in his dick. He got a dick implant, a dick plant, and then was very proud of the results and posted pictures and video on his social media.
Oh.
And the team.
I
mean,
well, see,
would,
but
right?
that story could have gone a different way because in my mind I was like, oh no, he whipped out his dick and had the Falcon
that's what I
land
was
on his
expecting,
dick.
yeah.
Like, oh no, you're like, check
He
out
gave the
this work
supporters
I've
section
done.
the goat.
Ah, fucking Falcon right on his dick. Like, check that baby out.
He had the dick implant for like all of 5 days before it got clipped by his falcon. And Sarah, of course, wondering, do we have a photo, Mike?
I do
For the
not.
ladies in the audience.
There was a link
some guys.
in the story I read to the photo, which I did not click on because I didn't want.
It looks something like this.
Way to be keeping the production, Scott. Well done.
Hey, I'm trying. I know Mike does. He's got a lot of things
Put
moving.
a lot of work.
moving
Did
parts.
that one on the fly.
You know, if the production value is going to stay top notch, it's a team effort.
Well, we all know Joe's no help, so
That's amazing. Fired. The team was like, bridge too far. You can go ahead and be a racist and support Mussolini
dick
and other
implants
fascists,
are
but
frowned upon
hell,
around here,
you
sir.
can have dick
Your
implants.
walking papers.
Just don't be posting the video. Like that's where I wonder where the exact line was. Right? Was it like, you know what, photos? Maybe he's trying to help advocate for awareness of the community of those out there who need prosthetic members to.
I want to go back to Mussolini's not that bad. I just kind of gloss over that part. Like, he did some good things. Established some programs that are still still around today. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to Mussolini, guys. Come on.
There's more to being a leader than just, I don't know, like society. What about what he did economically?
God, right. I don't know. Not everybody fell behind.
Can anybody be all bad? Like that's really
right. Like,
there's always some silver lining, right? Yeah, no, go ahead, talk your talk about Mussolini, but don't you dare show your dick on the internet because we can't be associated with that.
That's great, man. That's great.
Is this the greatest reason for losing your job in the history of losing your job? Absolutely. Like, you lost your job simply because not only did you get a dick implant, but you were super excited to post pictures and videos of it on the internet. That's got to be up there as the greatest reason.
Weird flex.
Also, like, as the club, like, wouldn't you have been better served of not firing him for this so you don't get your name dragged through the mud as the club who fired the dude posting pictures of his dick surgery online? Like, because now no one knows his name. What's his name?
Juan Burnaby.
See, exactly. You've got no clue what his name is, but you know that it's the Lazio falconer that did this. So it's like
Mussolini lover for life online.
You could probably get that tattooed on there now after the
underscore between 4 and life. That's the number 4.
Sarah, good. I hope the pics were post healing. Sarah, do us a favor. Just look it up and let us know. Like at this point, add it to the list of Googles.
You're halfway down the Google rabbit hole. Just finish.
Take pointing out. You get a new car, you're gonna drive it. You get a new dick, you're gonna put it on the internet, guys. Like, come on.
Sarah wanted to know if the dick had a mustache. Just a really tiny one right underneath it. It was weird. It was like right here. All right, we're gonna wrap this show with a golf story for you guys.
Playing a game of whack fuck here. Whack.
The Ryder Cup is this year, boys, and we are in trouble. Because Luke Donald, who is the coach, the captain of Team Europe, he's starting to get the guys ready already. There was a tournament in Abu Dhabi where most of the guys who are going to be playing on Team Europe were there. It was basically like a de facto tryout for the Ryder Cup team. And Luke Donald decided to take things a little far and tried to get the guys ready for the environment at Bethpage Black here in the United States, as he set up speakers throughout the course where it was just playing fans chanting USA, USA. So as they were going up to their ball, there was a crowd noise yelling USA at them. He told members of the gallery that they were instructed to cough or talk during the backswings of the players to get them ready for that type of interruption. And then he went really far. And on number 7, he hired an American comedian to come to the 7th hole and just heckle the comedians, the golfers, heckle nonstop, talk all the shit. It's basically those back off guys that you see on TikTok. It was that, but in a professional golf tournament. Like, he has gone so far, but I want to know, fellas, who is the American comedian traitor that is over there helping Team Europe get better by heckling them during this practice round? Scott, we're fucked, right? We're done. This is it. It's over.
Yeah, but they still didn't hit my favorite golf fan, American golf fan archetype. The guy who off the tee screams, "Get in the hole!" Like, you gotta bring that guy in. That's my absolute favorite guy. Right off the tee shot.
Which
just
is made even
screaming,
better
"Get
when
in
they
the
do it
hole."
at the TGL, right? Because it's like there's no fucking hole, bro. Like, are
Right.
you serious? Like, shut up.
I love that guy. That's my favorite guy. Just completely silent. Get in the hole. But I don't know. We need to suss this traitor out. That's for fucking sure. I can tell you this: it ain't a black guy. Oh damn!
Gabe chiming in saying
Oh,
Bill Cosby, right?
In the
It's got-
same, like as I'm saying, it wasn't a black guy, and then Gabe hits us with Bill Cosby. I got nothing for that one. It isn't a modern day black guy. Let's go that route. It's not a modern day comedian who is black. Woo.
I'm trying to imagine like them wheeling Cosby up to, he's 87 years old and him trying to talk shit to golfers as they're teeing off. It's just it's not gonna-
Without drugging them first too would be weird. What? Huh?
Pause.
Huh? What kind of beer were we drinking tonight?
Perfect segue, Scott. Let's talk about as always, we're rating them on Cesar's scale, dog or no dog. Scott, what was in your mug, dog or no dog?
It's the year of sour in 2025. I was with High Grain Brewing Company Strawberry Lemonade Sour tonight. A little 4.5%er, but it is a dog. Easy to drink, nails the flavor. I think I'm going to quickly develop a taste for sours. Like, I'm just going to throw that out there.
I got to catch up with that. Once February starts, maybe I'll join you.
Yeah.
Maybe. Mookie, what were you drinking, dog or no dog?
Oh, it's definitely a dog. I had a Silhouette, Sour IPA, Blueberry, and Raspberry from Hudson Valley Brewing. Absolute dog. It redeemed itself.
I'm glad it redeemed itself. I like to hear that. I am still doing dry January, so I had cherry cola from Costello, 5 milligrams THC with a little bit of CBD sprinkled in. It's all right. It's not it's nowhere near as good as that orange creamsicle was last week. So this is definitely second place in the THC seltzers so far. But it gets the job done. You know,
It's fine.
it's fine. It's like the dog that your family got that you didn't really want
Like
your
that
family to get,
terrier.
but now it's like, all right, well, we're here. Like, I'll take you out. Fine. You gotta go to the bathroom. Fine. It's okay. It's here. Fellas, I would be remiss. I didn't want to say anything earlier because I didn't want to spend the whole show crying. But yesterday was
You did it. The same thing I did. I almost did it out of the gates too.
no, I didn't want to do it out of the gate.
I did. I held back. back.
For Caesar's memory, I wanted to put together like just a normal classic show without starting off with me blubbering and being very sad. But I miss that kid like crazy, man. A year ago yesterday is when Cesar passed away. The show just I hate every Tuesday not seeing him in this chat with us and like chiming in with all of his fun takes. I would have loved to hear what he had to say about Mike McCarthy not being with the Cowboys anymore.
I would love to hear what he had to say about Jura's real name. Like that would have been
What a revelation!
That would have been probably Budweiser, Bud Light worthy.
As soon as he heard Jerral, I guarantee we would have heard a what? Just echoing through.
Oh man.
To Caesar's friends, family, we love you guys. We're thinking of you because I know how difficult it was for us yesterday, and I can't imagine for you guys too. So sending you guys all of the love, thinking of you always. Just before we end it, let's just go ahead and play this one.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It always makes me smile, man. Clip. We love you, Cesar. We miss you, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in because you know what? This was a show tonight. This was a show, and we did it, and it's over, and it was a good one. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. To the new followers, we got new subscribers that have been hitting us up. Thank you. Come back. We'll see you next week. We do this every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. So now that you're in the tent, stay in the tent. Tell somebody else. Find a friend and be like, hey, these guys are really cool. You should come check them out. And tell them to subscribe. And then they get 3 people to subscribe. And then those 3 people each get 3 people to subscribe. And then it's like a very cool pyramid effect that helps us out. So go do that. You can follow us on all of the social media channels. We're at Craft B Sports on TikTok, as long as that's still around. Instagram, we're on X, Blue Sky. You can join the Facebook group. It's the only reason to have Facebook anymore, because screw Mark Zuckerberg. But that's a fun group to be in. It's the comment section come to life. It's the show between the show. So go join that. Shout out Belly Up Sports, bellyupsports.com. Tons of great content there. Shout out to all of the pods on the Belly Up Sports Media Network. We will see you all next week. Cheers, everybody.
Cesar, my birthday is just as much a celebration of you, man. We miss you, little bro.
You'll never walk alone. Hook 'em.
God bless you. Go Irish.